Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Rock and Metal Music video. So, last night was the Omens Tour in Jacksonville, Florida, with Lamb of God, Baroness, Suicide Silence, and Killswitch Engage. The show was phenomenal, but after Killswitch Engage came on and did their set, which I stayed for the whole show, which is freaking phenomenal. I'm a huge Killswitch Engage fan. You had Lamb of God pop on, and for some reason I started getting a very violent, like, migraine headache where I wanted to almost vomit. And I wasn't drinking the night. I didn't have any beer. I had some popcorn, and I had some Gatorade and a regular bottle of water. So I wasn't like boozing or anything like that. So Lamb of God goes on, and I noticed the sound was getting so loud it wasn't even funny. Like, it was so loud, the set was so loud, it was like distorted loud. When you're hearing it seemed like from every band, from the opening act, which was Suicide Silence, which I'm not a big fan of Suicide Silence. They do put on a hell of a good show. They have like nasty breakdowns. They did a Wall of Death, which was insane to see a Wall of Death in person. Then Baroness came on. They were pretty cool. I didn't know anything about Baroness. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know one of their guitar players was a female. And so what I think happened was, because at Daly's Place Amphitheater in Jacksonville, they had everything self-served. So if you got popcorn like I did, or you get the nachos, they're already prepared under like a heat lamp, so they're just sitting there. So I had the popcorn with some with a Gatorade and a bottle of water. But I think because the food is just sitting there, that is why I got sick, because I normally don't eat that kind of food, like popcorn and stuff like that. So my girl that I went with, she works in the medical field, so she knows, like, she can see it on my face, like, oh, he's getting sicker, he feels off. It wasn't like it was hot, it was kind of breezy and kind of more on the chill side, right? So it wasn't so hot like I was in the Florida humidity heat. It was actually chill and cool. If you've ever been to Daly's Place Amphitheater, you know you're down by the water, so you're not like boiling hot. And it wasn't so hot that I was like, oh my god, I'm sweating, right? And I think it was just the fact that I had the food that might have got me sick. Then it was the fact that the music just got so ear-piercingly loud. Like, Lamb of God's set sounded distorted loud. Like, it was to the point, like, when you go to your house or your car radio and you crank it all the way up and you can hear the distortion, it's like, that's what it felt like to me listening to Lamb of God. So my girl was like, hey, you want to leave? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And it wasn't like I was disappointed that I had to leave, because I've seen Lamb of God twice before. Once at Welcome to Rockville, and once at the Arco Arena in California, when it was Lamb of God, Slipknot, and Shadows Fall. And then I seen them in 2004 when they played at the Ozfest, right? And this is like 15, 20 years ago. And all the shows, every time I've ever seen Lamb of God, they put on a freaking phenomenal show. This was a phenomenal show as well. I could tell they put more time into their stage presence, their stage setup, and the pyro was nuts, right? I would have loved to be able to see the full show, but at a lower volume. It was just disturbingly loud. My girl who went with me, she's not a fan of that harsher metal music. They're not really that harsh. Well, she's more into like Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, that kind of stuff. So for her, she only went to the show because she wanted to hang out with me, which is totally fine. Next week we're going to go to Breaking Benjamin, Alice in Chains, and Bush. So for us, that's more her cup of tea, which I'm okay with, right? But it just seemed very odd and very weird that for some reason, which I've never had before, I got a violent, vicious headache that forced me to leave the show early. Baroness was probably one of the best performances I've seen in a long time. Killswitch Engage killed it as much as they always do. Adam D was running out in the crowd, doing his thing, talking smack like he always does, which is very hilarious. Then you had Suicide Silence, which did a Wall of Death, which it was okay. They're not my cup of tea, Suicide Silence, but I understand these package deals are phenomenal. You don't have to spend like $200 for a festival, but you're still getting kind of a festival feel with 4 awesome groups. I would say the show for me was Killswitch Engage, Baroness, Lamb of God, and then Suicide Silence in the way I heard the show, right? That's my way of saying that's the bands I liked in that order. But overall, I would say the show itself was just kick-ass from top to bottom, start to finish. But that violent, vicious headache, whatever caused that, made me come home and vomit very badly. Like, I vomited for like 10 minutes the first time, and I went back in the bathroom and vomited again. And again, it wasn't that I was drinking alcohol or I ate anything like that. I ate before the show, but I also ate the popcorn. So I think the self-serve popcorn that was just sitting out there on the shelf at the venue, because of COVID, they say self-serve, was the reason I got that weird, crazy, violent headache and wanted to vomit and throw up and just felt disgustingly sick. But overall, I would say my experience of the Omens Tour was great. I just wish the music would have been toned down a little bit. I think the audio engineer of that show sucked. Whoever was doing it, I don't know if it was a Lamb of God person or they're using somebody that just does the full show. But again, they had it so disturbingly loud that it was hurting. My girl said the same thing. It was hurting her ears, and we were way in the back. I want to know what the mosh pit people thought. But as always, it's your boy Trevor back with another.